Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today I thought we would do a nice different painting. I'm going to do a full painting with just the 1-inch brush and the small palette knife. So let's get started. We'll start off today by taking the 1-inch brush and going through some blue. And then we'll come right up here to the corners and just start painting in a nice sky. Doing big X's and letting it get softer and lighter toward the horizon. Now while we have that color going, we can just add some water. Just pulling in and leaving a nice light area in the middle of the canvas. Now with a clean 1-inch brush, we'll blend out the whole sky. Now if you don't have multiple brushes, you may have to wash yours, and that's okay. Now with the 1-inch brush and some white, we can come right over here and do little circles to drop in some clouds. Now back to a clean 1-inch brush, and we can blend out the bottom of the cloud. No different than when we use a 2-inch brush, just smaller. And we can fluff them up, just like that, and blend them all back down. Now that you have that cloud done, you can go right here with some more white and paint another cloud distinctly in front of that one, leaving that dark area as the separator. Now with the knife and some black and blue, we can come right over here and just shape a faraway mountain. Now with a 1-inch brush, we can pull that mountain out, just grabbing it and letting it blend. Let it get nice and soft at the bottom. Now with the knife and some white, we can come over here and just put a small amount of highlight right up here. Now with a little bit of black and blue and white, we can come over here and put a tiny little bit of shadow on this mountain. Not much, because this one's really far away. Tiny little bit. When you're done with your mountain, you can take a brush and just tap out the bottom and then lift up following the angles of the mountain. This creates mist. Now with some of that black and blue, we can drop in a nice big mountain up here. This one's much closer, so we'll keep it darker. We'll go distinctly in front of that background mountain, push it right back. Just fill it in good and dark. Now back to the 1-inch brush, and we can pull this mountain out just by grabbing it and moving it around, and let it get nice and soft and misty down toward the bottom. Now with some white on the knife, we can come right up here and just add some highlights to this big mountain. Just let it break right down. No pressure with the knife. Let it float. Now with some brown and white, we can add some rock right here. Maybe the snow's kind of melting, and so now we're going to see some rocks. We'll just highlight those the same way. Now with some blue and white, we can add a little bit of shadow right up here. No pressure with the knife. Same thing as before. Now with a 1-inch brush, this one's a little bit dirty, but a clean one would work too. We can grab a little bit of that paint and just pull it up, and we get tiny, tiny treetop indications, like a distant tree line. Let it stop right about there. Now with the 1-inch brush, we can come right along here and just tap, create some mist, and then lift up following the angles of the mountain. You can even go side to side to create a nice big soft area. I think we'll have some trees silhouetted against the mist. Now with some green and blue and a little bit of black, we can come right here and just tap down. And this is going to be step one to a nice little tree line. And then when you're done with that, you can take the brush and lift up. And you get far away evergreen trees. Just lift them right up. Now we can take the brush and pull the other direction and get some reflections. Pull straight down. And then you can clean your brush or just grab a clean one and go lightly across. Now with some white on the knife, we can just drop in a tiny water line. Not much, this is really far away. Now with the 1-inch brush and some green and black, we can come right about here and just tap down. Now we'll take the 1-inch brush and pull it through that same paint. And we'll chisel, get a nice chiseled edge there. And with that, we can paint in a couple of little pine trees back here. Just tapping with that brush. Get nice little indications. Just like that. Now back to that chiseled edge. And we can go right about there and make a little pine tree. I'm using the 1-inch brush. I'm pushing up. Bend the brush up. Now it's very important that you use that chiseled edge. Without that, you won't get these limbs. Now with the 1-inch brush and some yellow and green, we can highlight this grass. Just tapping with the brush. And be sure to leave some dark. That's what gives you the contrast and depth in your painting. Now with some brown on the knife, we can add a small amount of rocks up here. I'm just laying in the dark color, and then we'll put some highlights on top. Now with some brown and white, we can add a little bit of highlight to these rocks. I'm just touching with the knife and letting it float right across. Now with some white on the knife, we can drop in a little water line just by rubbing. Now we'll take that 1-inch brush and bring it to a chisel edge and then use that to drop a little bit of highlight on these trees. I'm just still pushing up with that brush. Now with the 1-inch brush that we were making the trees with, we can bring that to a chisel edge, and right here we'll make a big pine tree. Just push up with that brush and form the limbs. Now normally I wouldn't do this with the 1-inch brush. I would use a fan brush. In fact, I'm even going to remove some of that mountain. I would do it with a fan brush, but if all you have is a 1-inch brush, then it will work. Now we can add some land using that same color and just tapping down. Now with a clean brush, we can grab this and just pull straight down and then go across to create some reflections. Now with some brown and white, we can add a little tree trunk right there. Now back to the 1-inch brush we were highlighting with, and we can tap on some grass. Just tapping with the brush and leaving some dark areas in the grass. Now with some brown on the knife, we can do some more rocks. Same way as before. Now with some brown and white, we can add some highlight. Just touching it and letting it run right across the rock. Now with some white on the knife, we can just rub in a little water line. Now I'm going to sharpen that brush to a chisel edge again. And I'm going to come right up here and put on some highlights to this big tree. I'm going to go real slow and carefully because this is an awfully big brush to be doing this with. Normally I like to do it with a fan brush, but since I'm doing the whole painting with just the 1-inch brush and the small palette knife, we'll just make this work. Now I'm going to pull the brush through the paint, and I'm going to come right here and pop a little bush right at the bottom of the tree. Alright, well I think we're done. I had a lot of fun, I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out my new website and also my DVD for sale. I'll put those links below. And thanks for watching.